Hello, everyone. First of all, Ever Up wishes all the beautiful and intelligent women out there a very happy International Women's Day. You must be thinking it is a delayed wish. So, come on. For women, it's never a day for us. In fact, har din hamara hai. Every day is our day, right? Today, I had the opportunity of attending an HR summit and I heard a good line there. Diversity is when you call people to have a party, but inclusion is when you invite them to the dance floor. Well, we have done the same. We will have women today to talk all about women. International Women's Day's campaign theme for 2024 is to inspire inclusion, and this also comes in with that. On this note, let's welcome the guests tonight, two beautiful, smart, and successful ladies to discuss a very crucial topic, which is the overarching theme of the Women's Day this year: invest in women and accelerate progress. We assure you that today's discussion will, will be insightful to you and you will have some takeaways for you to deliberate and work on. Our first guest tonight, she is currently working as the Director, Cybersecurity Center of Excellence, UEM. She has also functioned as the Principal, Dean, HOD, as well as Professor at UEM and IAM. She had been associated with other big institutes too in her career, like Netaji Subhash Engineering College, Jadavpur University, etc. She has done a bachelor's in science as well as technology, further completed her master's in technology, and finally a doctorate in philosophy from Jadavpur University. She has many more feathers in her cap. Please welcome Dr. Mahua Chakravarti. Welcome, Dr.
Thank you.
Mahua.
Thank you so much, Firoz.
Okay, so we will welcome another guest tonight. She's a seasoned HR professional with 16 years of demonstrated experience of working across different industries like IT, banking, retail and management consulting, etc. Her associations include Citi, JCPenney, IMAX, the Dataflow Group, Mahindra Satyam, and currently she's working as Vice President HR at Majesco. She is a commerce graduate from Delhi University, completed both bachelor's as well as master's in HR, and a lot more certifications in HR too. Her approachable nature and people's person attitude make her a perfect HR professional. She has already been a guest earlier on a leadership talk show, Jeet Ke Falsafe, on for the Diwali special episode, if I'm remembering it correct, and that was loved by many attendees. So please welcome Yogita Sethi.
Hi. Thank you,
Hi.
everyone. Thanks, Moksha. Looking forward. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so since we are going to talk all about Women's Day today, and it's all about women's career growth, so I would like to begin right from where you both have started. You both may have started your careers rather. So first, this goes to you, Yogita. Tell me when you had started your career, did you imagine and you were already set in your mind that you will reach a leadership role and how would you play in future? How was it?
Um, Isha, I think I did get your question, but your voice was slightly breaking up, and in the
Okay.
end, it
Sure. I will just
faded
repeat that.
off.
So I'm saying that when you had started your career, did you ever imagine yourself that this will be my career path and I will be leading, I will be a leadership, this will be the role that I want to play in future? How was it when you were starting your career? What was your thoughts regarding that?
So I think it just goes back when I was doing my education. So I think somewhere around eighth and ninth standard, I was very clear that I want to pursue commerce, as a stream when I do like take a course up in 11th. So I think from there I was very clear that I want to do commerce, and then post my schooling I want to graduate to do BBA and then MBA in HR. And I think I was very clear during that time that this is what I want to pick up in life. I think it just goes back to the point that you made in my introduction, Isha, that I think I'm a very extrovert person. I love to talk. And I think for an HR professional to be able to, reach out to people, understand their issues, counsel them, and obviously embrace them can only come naturally, if you have that Nike in you in terms of talking to and figuring out what the issues are, because it's very difficult for people to open up. So I think that's where it all started. I was very clear that I want to do it. Yes, my first stint was with Satyam, which was in the L&D department with Satyam Computer Services, which is now known as Mahindra Group. So there I was there for about an year and a half or so, and then of course I switched over to City into HR, and from there, of course, the journey of HR has begun. Of course, I don't think like when you start, you really think that you're going to be X level in so many years. But yes, I think as I've grown up, I'm very grateful for the opportunities I got, and how I was able to expand my role and my career journey. And in the process, I do believe I have made impact in people's life, especially in a lot of people's life who've gone through so much during a corporate journey. And I think working in India is not easy because there's so many corporate politics, there's so much that everybody has to deal with. But I do believe that in my role as HR, I have definitely made a positive impact in a lot of lives. So I think I do take that as my reward. And yeah,
Absolutely.
continue to do that. Yeah.
And I can vouch on that because we work together. What about you, Dr. Mahua? How did you start? And you've done so many certifications, add-on, etc. What were your plans when you started?
Right from the beginning, you can say that when I was in school, a teacher used to give us what do you want to become when you grow up. So always I used to write. I don't know why I wanted to become an engineer. So I used to write that thing. So it was maybe in class 5, 6, like that. So after that, I forgot about it. And I carried on with my studies. I passed my class 10, then 12. Then I joined science, but not technology. That time I joined physics honors. Physics honors, and after doing, I did quite well in physics honors in the University of Calcutta, and I got a chance in the Department of Radio Physics and Electronics, Calcutta University, to do a BTech in radio physics and electronics. So from there onwards, the entire thing changed. I completed my BTech, and then I was pretty involved in the corporate sector for about 5 years, and then I wanted to pursue higher studies. I wanted to do MTech, so I enrolled myself in MTech and completed MTech. After completing MTech, I joined Netaji Subhash Engineering College as a lecturer at that point of time. And after joining, I enrolled myself in the PhD program in the Jadavpur University in the ETC department, that's Electronics and Telecommunication department, and I completed my PhD within 4 years. Completed it within 4 years, and that too, it was a part-time PhD because I was also working in Netaji Subhash Engineering College. And after that, after passing PhD, I joined IEM. I joined IEM as a professor there in the department of IT. Actually, from electronics, I joined IT department, and within 15 days, director at that point of time made me the HOD of the department. So I carried on with the role of HOD for about 12, 13 years. And after that, I got the role of Dean of Faculty Welfare and Human Resource Development Center. So I take care of, I am a professor of computer science, but I take care of the faculty welfare, their FDPs, then their appraisals and competency mapping. And these are the few things that I take care of. Apart from recruitment, I also do recruitment of professors, associate professors, and assistant professors from various NITs and IITs and state universities. That is, I do campus recruitment. There are other types of recruitments also in the university, but I mostly take care of the campus recruitment. Then after that, they made me again the HOD of computer science and engineering. And following that, I was there as a principal of the college for 1 year. And now in 2024, January, they promoted me as director of the Cybersecurity Center of Excellence. Now, this cybersecurity part, I can tell you, it started way back in 2018. Now, formally, they have made me director of the Center of Excellence of Cybersecurity, but it was way back in 2018 when I first started this journey of organizing the ethical hacking conference. It's called eHackon 2018, and this time also this is the fifth eHackon that I am organizing, and it will be held in 27th and 28th of March. And so this time we have leveraged AI to law as well. So this was all my journey, and
Great.
I love it.
So that means what you thought, you basically achieved that. Wonderful.
Yeah.
All right. So here, since we were speaking about the leadership thing, so a quick question that comes to my mind would be, if I have to ask you people to describe your leadership style and how you lead others, and do you feel that it is different from your male counterparts? So again, we go to you, Yogita, since you are from entirely into corporate world.
Sure. Okay. So I think I'll begin with, of course, my leadership traits or attributes. So I think I'll call myself a very participative and collaborative leader. I love to work along with my team. And of course, when I say, I don't want to use the word lead, but yeah, guide them in the right direction, that wherever they are stuck, what could be the probable problem solving solutions and stuff, and at the same time, I also encourage a lot of brainstorming, encourage a lot of thinking amongst my team, because of course, there are team managers to guide, lead, and help, but it's also important that you bring in that thinking, intuitive knowledge amongst your team. So they also have to start thinking, and they just can't come with a problem, but they should also have a level up, that if this is a problem, this could be a probable solution. That solution may be right or wrong is a different thing, but empowering the team, with that trust that, yes, you can go a level up, by thinking and coming up. So that is something that I encourage in my team. And I think that can only happen if you lay in that trust with your team members, have that participative approach with them, think through, do a brainstorming session. So I think my clear style is collaboration and participative leadership, and of course empowering my team, to also continue to grow in their own areas. I think on the male counterparts, I think they may be similar, but somewhere I do feel that males who are, having team members which are females, sometimes because we are in India and that mindset of patriarchal behavior continues to play at corporate as well. So I have definitely seen in my career as well that, if I have also reached out, to, let's say, even a peer, who's a male, their attitude at times something is that they know more than me, because something I think they believe that, they are, I don't know, superhuman beings, and they have more knowledge. So I think that definitely I have experienced, and I won't say that I've experienced with my male bosses, but I've experienced this with my male peers. But yeah, I've also seen managers who are males and who have team members as females. They tend to intimidate them, they tend to overpower, because they feel that, they can take better decisions, they know about a problem better versus, a female mind. So I think that is there, but I won't say that is generally for all the male bosses. But that section of people definitely exists in the corporate world. I think, as I said, we go back to because I think we're ruled by patriarchal. But I think the whole aspect of, I think this general diversity, inclusion in corporates, and, with having more women leadership or women playing leadership roles, I can also say that that feeling is changing. But yeah, I think there's still a lot of work to do, to really completely change that mindset that, wow, I am happy to report to a female boss, you know. So I think that's a journey, but yeah, I think we're all work in progress.
Great, great. So on this note, Dr. Mahua, I would like to ask you one question. That since you've worked, as you said, corporates also and majorly into academics, so have you felt that there has been different treatment? A, being in leadership role, you being different from your colleagues, and B, you being treated in a different way from your seniors. How has it?
I think your voice is breaking.
Oh, is it?
Insha, your voice is breaking.
Sure, I'll repeat the question. I'm asking that,
Yes.
like Yogita had said, so I have just similar question for you. Did you ever feel that you were treated differently than your male counterparts by your seniors anytime, being in corporate or academic? And Likewise, how is your leadership style? Do you feel that was it different too? Is it
Yes, I can understand from your words, not very clear, but I understand that no, not really. Uh, when it's I have never felt that in throughout my life, right from school days, my college days. I had always been a leader. I had been the class monitor, and now in the corporate sector, in the industry, in the education sector also, I had always been given this chance to be at the top position, but I never really felt this distinction, or as you said, they're differently treated differently than the male colleagues, and this has never happened to me. And I had always been in the forefront also. And maybe I can say that in many ways I'd been ahead of my male counterpart in all respects, be it responsibility, confidence, or monetary aspect. So this one I can say that I'm fortunate. I'm very much fortunate. I've never felt this thing.
okay? Great. So usually people do say that sometime or so in the career they usually feel it. So that's really great that you've never felt so. And I hope my voice is better now.
Yes.
Okay, great, great. So quickly, if I have to ask you another question, that since you say that there was nothing like that, but if there is any one thing which you would wish more people to know about women in the workplace, what would that one thing be? Any superpowers of women that you feel people should know more about?
Yes, in general, we women around the globe, I'm not talking about myself, but in general, they are paid less as compared to their male counterparts. The majority of them, they work part time, maybe due to family pressure or family responsibility, maybe due to education and so many other motherhood and so many other things that come in our way. And the minority part that work full time, they can face these challenges in the workplace, but organizations, they don't realize the importance of women in the workplace. If they don't realize, they are missing out on something. Besides doubling the talent pool, more women may also improve the company's performance, I feel. And as far as the previous research is concerned, that women in the workplace and gender diversity are the key for any organization's bottom lines. There are many Fortune 500 companies with the highest representation of women on boards financially outperform companies with the lowest representation of women on boards. So, gender diverse teams have higher sales and profits compared to male dominated teams, as you have already said, Insha. Today you have heard it in the HR summit. And also a recent study as I have researched that gender diverse business units have a higher average revenue than less diverse business units. So as far as my area of expertise is concerned, female education seems to take up more challenging work and help in the overall growth of the stakeholders. I can feel that there are many female members in my university who are working exceptionally well, and they are in their top positions. But again, this cannot be generalized, because I had a few male members in my team who had worked brilliantly for the overall success of the events that we organized from our department. So that I can say.
So, Yogita, just a quick one from you too. If there was one superpower which you feel that women have, but mostly people do not look into or they don't know, what would that be?
I think I'll just slightly, tweak your question. I think there is a superpower which males also know, talk, but they don't believe. I think
Okay.
we keep saying that, women are strong, and they are truly strong, And I think not just because, they have the power to, give birth to another human being, that is definitely, strength. But I think overall, emotional strength, and otherwise, carrying the chores or everything, whether personally, professionally, I think they're definitely strong. So I think we will definitely hear a lot of males talking, oh, women are strong. But do we really believe it? So I think no, we don't. So I think just to pick up from this quality, I think people should start believing it and actually have women on challenging roles. So, for example, I have seen in organizations most of the sales roles or most of these difficult revenue generation business portfolios. Somehow, the sense is that a male leader can run it better than a woman. Because the sense of numbers or driving a business, the entrepreneur acumen somewhere people feel is more high on males versus females, and hence we will see in a lot of organizations, especially area which is revenue generated or a business development or a sales profile, hardly you will see women leadership there. It is more majorly led by males, because a general sense is that it is a difficult portfolio for females to run. Because they can't really go all out, do client meetings, they can't do lead generation for us, they can't do business development, they can't be on the roads doing sales. But the point is they can much more.
They
So I
can.
think that mindset shift has to be there, that women are strong. And I think I'll also want to pick up a word is about equality. We definitely are talking about diversity and inclusion, but I think that thing of equality, whether it is pay equality, whether it is role equality, whether it is leadership equality, I think that's another area that the corporates should look at, in addition to giving challenging roles.
Definitely, I agree with you. And in fact, even I feel that it is not gender dependent roles, it is more individual dependent roles. That
Absolutely.
my competency may vary, but that doesn't mean that you will consider that as a woman or a man.
Yeah,
So
and
true.
trust me, a female who can run the house budget and still save money can do a great job doing sales revenue portfolios.
Absolutely. She can save everywhere. She can make profits. We can do everything. Yes. So, since Dr. Mahua also spoke about a lot of things that we do come across, and in your answer too, it was there. So, one thing, if I ask you, that is it that major obstacle that usually women face? Do you feel it is more in the junior or mid level roles or high in career? Is it that more that they are suppressed? Where do you feel that the major problem comes in? And I
I
go with
won't
you with
really
it.
say I won't really say junior, because I think when anybody is starting their career, I think the only aptitude people may look at is the skill set. So, and if you have a skill set, I think it's immaterial whether you're a guy or a girl. So I think at junior levels it's definitely not the case. And I would still say that if you're doing well, maybe even a mid level, let's say at a manager level, team leader or manager level also, I think it's all fine that you get your due, you get your promotions. But yeah, I think from the shift starts to happening from a mid senior to senior. So that's the hierarchy level where you I think where we feel that will she be able to perform as much, or she's a working mother, she has two kids to take care, will she be able to devote that kind of time that is needed for this big opportunity, or for this, let's say, leadership role. And of course, I think the other detriment that comes, if somebody knows that, oh, she's due for marriage or she's due to become a mother, then also I have seen in my career that promotions are delayed, because then people think that obviously the focus would be her husband or the focus would be her kid. So I think at senior levels I still feel that the it is suppressed, and that's where the equal opportunity that I was talking in the previous question is not given to women. Because I think the major mindset is that a larger role with leads to larger responsibility, leads to larger work commitment, leads to larger time commitment. And women can't do that because of the other associated responsibilities. So I think that's where I would say, is a challenge at the higher levels, because we tend to think that, oh, she can't, let's say if you're working for an organization which is US based, Europe based, then, oh, she won't be able to log in late at night, she will have to close her laptop to do cooking and stuff, like there's so many things that we think. And, so I think that's where that opportunity or that suppression comes at the higher levels.
Yes, and taking it back to the earlier discussion where you were referring to that some people have that mindset. So, yes, a lot of times they agree that when women are junior to them, listening to them in those roles, they are happy. The moment they become the equal partners, they start having problems. So true.
Yeah.
Yes. So coming back to you, Dr. Mahua, since you were referring to again certain issues like we were talking about pay equality, etc. So do you think that to break down these barriers, any institutional and societal changes are still needed? Because we talk about women empowerment, but still these issues are still prevalent. Everything is there. So what do you think?
Yes, definitely. There's you. We need some institutional as well as societal changes to make women empowered. So the main thing I think is based on the legislation and the policies. So we have to implement and enforce laws and policies that promote gender equality and protect women's rights. And then this includes laws against gender biased violence and discrimination. So this is point number one. And the second point that is coming to my mind is empowerment and support. And we need to provide women with the tools and resources and support they need to achieve their full potential. Then comes the education. There are so many girls and women who are in the poverty line, and they are not getting proper education, so that also must be ensured from the government. And then comes the healthcare, improving access to healthcare services for women, including addressing those reproductive or the healthcare and the maternal care. This part should be taken care of. So these are few of the things that I think changes should be made. And apart from that, the political participation, increasing women's representation in politics and decision making roles can empower them again. So overall there should be some change in the societal norms and challenging this harmful gender stereotypes and promoting positive attitudes towards women's rights and gender equality. And most importantly, as I am into data, we can collect data on the gender disparities, and we can do the monitoring process towards the gender equality. We can take the help of technology to from this data to take care of what is happening in other parts of the country. Talking about the this city, I can say that to some extent it is at the right level, but there are rural places where we definitely need to have more and more monitoring, so that more and more women are empowered. So these are the few things I think the institution or the society needs to change in its norms.
Absolutely. And Yogita, do you think we can formulate or any changes we can bring in our policies at corporate level that may help even come through this?
I think one, there should be a genuine focus of hiring more women. I think from a diversity inclusion perspective, because I think each organization, like I know that way back TCS and Genpact had this, and Accenture, I think they do it beautifully. So they're given targets at the beginning of the year that they want to attain, let's say, 40% of workforce as women by the end of a particular fiscal year. So I think targets like these, and then that 40% gets cascaded, to each of the hiring businesses. That okay, if you have 10 positions to hire, let's say 20% of those positions would have to be filled by women. That's how we are going to reach to a number of, let's say, 40% as an organization. So I think that has to be there, number one, in terms of genuinely, looking for females hiring, and irrespective of the roles. I think that will also come to the point that, irrespective of the role, we shouldn't be thinking, oh, for this role, we need a guy only. No. So I think inclusion, specific target inclusion of hiring women workforce, and, having that. So I can say for my organization right now, we stand at about 35%, on an overall women versus male ratio in my present organization. So this is something that, we are looking at. So that's, I think, is one. Second, as I spoke about, promotion, to important roles. So again, we should, and I'm not saying that it just because it's a woman, she should get promoted, but definitely, based on performance, based on merit, based on capability. Like if the person is worth it, and meets all the criteria, then that individual should be promoted. And at that time, it shouldn't be looked upon that, oh, she's a female and I don't want to give her that leadership role. So I think if in corporate, we are cognizant about, developing and, having women, as Dr. Mahua also mentioned, that having women at roles, where decision making, is in their hands, I think that's going to really change, the corporate mindset. And of course, more inclusion when we do hiring. Yeah.
Absolutely. But sometimes I would say that it's not only because of the people around us, not only because of the circumstances or policies or society. Sometimes it's women's mindset also, the stereotypes that we have in our brains too, which is responsible for leaving out responsibilities. Do you think that we are somewhere, and anything that you would like to share on that? So I'll go with Dr. Moa first. Do you
You
think
mean
that,
stereotypes?
yeah, in
Stereotypes.
our mindset also, a lot of times we leave out opportunities because of certain thinking that we follow? So anything that
Yes.
you,
Yes, definitely. See, stereotypes means that we are prioritizing our family and caregiving over the career. So this is a major stereotypes, and this leadership can limit women's opportunities for advancement in education and the workforce, I believe. So these stereotypes can discourage women from pursuing careers in the STEM education also. So
absolutely.
it's, more and more women should come into the STEM education. Mostly, when you talk about women, what do you want to do after your class 10? They go for art subject or commerce subject, but they should also come to STEM education because there where they can contribute to technology. And I think innovation is the buzzword today, and in our organization also we have created several centers of excellences. And to tell you, I'm the only female there in my organization who is the director of the center of excellence, one of the center of excellences. So I take pride in that. But again, then it's not because I am a woman. I feel that if you have that potential, if you have that personality, I definitely, if that organization is open minded, definitely you will get that role. So women should come out of that stereotypes of family related matters. And the next point is that we are emotionally very much uh, dependent on our on everything than our male counterparts. So emotional and behavioral traits can also influence how women are perceived and treated in the workplace. And so this potentially limits the women's ability to assert themselves and take on some of the leadership roles, because people think that women are very emotional, they cannot handle this type of work pressure. And so, but as far as education is concerned, it's my industry, so I feel women are very well suited in this industry. I cannot talk about other industries, but this women are better suited. But when you talk about the leadership and senior management role in the education industry also, then also you have to show your expertise, because I can tell you all the senior roles are being taken over by the male counterparts in our organization. So I told you in the beginning that I'm fortunate that I am the only person who has taken up this role. Okay, then I think women out there should build themselves
Come forward.
these traits so that they can compete with their male counterparts and even go ahead of them, so that they are not discriminated in their workplace. And so another one stereotype is that women are discriminated based on their appearance. Many times we feel that this woman will rise to a higher position because of her appearance, because of her figure and all these things. But they do not look into the intellect of the women, so which I am very much against. So these are the stereotypes, and I feel that we women should reinforce the idea that our value is based on our roles concerning others and not based on our stereotypes of like emotional well-being, or the appearance that we have.
Absolutely, yeah. Totally agree to that. And typically, yes, all about image and everything that you're saying, so true on that. But yes, one important thing that I pick up from here that Dr. Mahua said, and on that I would like to ask Yogita, that she did call upon that women leaders can innovate and should innovate in their fields, and she feels that in her field they can do very well. And I'm sure we also feel that women can do a lot here. So, any
Yeah.
quick ones that you would like to share in terms of how we can innovate in our fields?
I think I would say, as Dr. Mawa said, education, I think continues to rescale and upskill our own self, from a knowledge perspective. I think that's very, very important because I think sometimes, and I would not just say at a leadership levels, but I think at any level, and I think with the world being so dynamic, and even if we talk about HR, every second person is now talking about AI in HR as well. That you will have, and I am looking at places, where people are reaching out to me with a virtual interview model, chatbots who's sorry, who can interview on behalf of your talent acquisition team. So technology, is actually replacing this, all of that. So I think that attribute in terms of consistently upskilling ourselves, understanding about the change in the environment, building our knowledge. I think that I believe that anybody at any role should do, irrespective of being a junior, mid, or senior, because I think it's very important, to know what's happening, in your industry, how fast it is changing. Second, I think again being very abreast about, the market knowledge about your industry. So that also will prepare you, for your future roles. That would, having that awareness and preparedness, I think that is very important because sometimes I think, doing a particular role, we are also in our comfort zone. So I think I would also try to, simulate stereotypes with also somewhere about, the comfort, because we and women are emotional, as Dr. Mawa said. And I think, of course, there's part of women we know who care a damn, but majority women are emotional about their kid, about their families and stuff, and we cannot really take that away. So that reality exists. But yes, I also feel that for every women, and I think on behalf of all women, I would like to say that it's very important to not let go your own identity in the process of, being a better wife, being a better mother. But first and foremost, your own responsibility is for you. Like I should be able to look up at myself and be proud every single day. Of course, you should be proud being a better wife and a better mother, but and as an individual also, because I think I strongly believe that you can only impart happiness, or you can only contribute if you are happy within. I mean, you can't give away if you are empty inside. So I think that aspect, on the personal side and on the professional side, that, knowledge, education, continue to grow, I think is very important. So like I know a lot of female who, when they are on maternity break, try reading about what's happening in their industry, try doing some online courses, so that, when they get back to work, they don't feel that, they missed out on things. But I think I would also say, Insha, it's very individual, because there are people, who would let go all of this just because they're over emotional. So I think, and at different stages in our life, we sometimes feel that, okay, my personal space is more important than my professional. So I think people take those calls. I think the other thing that I would like to highlight here, that the corporate should also be supportive, that, if some women wants to take sabbatical, due to taking care of the personal stuff, that should be there. And on the personal side, I feel the husband and the extended family should also play an important role, that that her career is important. Yes, the family is important. I think that shift has to happen more, I would say, from the personal side, that your family has to be your extended support, so that, you don't lose your identity in the whole process. But I would still say, unless and until women stand for their own self, we can't really change anything. So
Absolutely. So I would also say that at all, if guilt factor is coming to us, then that means we've stopped loving ourselves or following what we want. So that
yeah,
is the time that we need to rethink. But if we are doing it out of love, then that guilt should not come. So we should happily
absolutely,
be going about it.
absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So one last question on the present, and then probably we'll jump into the future, that what we hold and what we can do. Since we talk, and Dr. Moa had started saying that there are so many research figures that do give us all about gender diversity, that if women are hired more, so we kind of are more productive, we are more efficient, etc. So how could we calculate that positive impact of having gender diversity in any organization? If you already do, then we would love to know that practice. And if you're not doing, then if you would do, then how would you do? So to Yogita.
So I think, as I said, that we are definitely looking at numbers that, in my present organization, with the male female ratio. That is definitely, we. I don't want to use the word that we keep a track, but that is definitely, that's something that we monitor, and we see where we are on the numbers. Let's say there's attrition and then we are rehiring, and because the portfolio that I manage, part of the portfolio is talent acquisition as well. So of course, because we want to have more diversity in the organization, my team knows that they have to showcase female and male both candidates, and of course encourage, and because there are hiring managers who would come up and say that, no, 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 don't showcase female CVs to me, I just need a boy, I just need a male for this. So then the team definitely goes and encourages them that, that's not the practice we follow, from a culture perspective. So I think what we are definitely doing, and it's a consistent practice, is, having more inclusion by way of entry into the organization by recruitment.
Absolutely. Yes. Dr. Mawa, anything that you measure, because you are also looking quite a bit into the HR bit. So, any positive impacts that you measure in terms of gender diversity?
Uh, in terms of in any organization, gender diversity can lead to improved. I feel the financial performance, innovation is the thing that I can tell you. So I have felt that here I would like to talk about a point that Yogita has mentioned. It's a comfort zone. So, I had an experience that I want to share with all of you. Way back in 2018, AICTE, All India Council for Technical Education, we are under AICTE. So, this AICTE had a scheme of UKERI. It's called UKIERI, United Kingdom India Education Research Initiative. So, they took up an initiative with the Dudley College London as well as British Council to select some professors of India, including the government organizations as well as private institutions. So they set up this and they asked us to fill up the proposals. So while filling up the forms, they said that you can create groups, but those groups should have a female member. So I am a very, what type of person, I take this opportunity, I never try to miss any opportunity. So I also tell others that you should all take this opportunity, any opportunity that comes to your in your front. So I took this opportunity and I asked my female colleagues in my organization whether you would also like to participate in that, so that together we can send the proposals. Not a single person, not I could not get a single female member from my organization who would accompany me. Then what I did, I asked my male counterparts, and one of them was my first PhD student. So he agreed because I am the professor. He agreed to it, and I selected another professor. So three of us, we went there, and for 1 year we did that course on CMI level 5 in leadership and management. So I was really privileged, and to my, I was just wondering why are women not coming out of the comfort zone. So that was, we had a very challenging part to play. For 1 year, we had to go to 3 different places organized by AICT. We had to go to Shillong, we had to go to Bangalore, we had to go to Delhi, and then for 2 weeks' time, we had to stay there and do the course. So it was pretty hectic. And then, when we came back after the CMI certification, this they after the COVID, this was pre-COVID, and after COVID, they again selected few members out of those, only 20 members they selected. And I was fortunate that they selected me to go for study abroad program in UK. and they selected me as master trainer also. I trained various professors in the Eastern India, and I became the coordinator. And so at that point of time, one very important part is that AICT is taking this initiative to include female members. So what they did, out of 20 people, they selected 10 women and 10 male. Okay, and out of them, 10 were from government organization, and 10 were from the private organization. So it was a balanced mix of people from several organizations and gender. So that's the thing that I like very much.
Right.
And you asked me about the positive impact of having gender diversity in any organization. So I said that it can improve the financial performance. I can say the innovation that we are into it, then employee engagement. So when a decision making power, I am also into the decision making level of management. So I feel that they tend to give you better revenue, and they tend to give benefit to the stakeholders with their dignity and aura and their presentation skills. That I can say about women. We are women, and so I feel that we are the best.
And agree with you. A lot of times women hesitate for many reasons. They should actually come forward and take up the opportunities. So here now going to the future messages. So one quick one to you, Yogita, since you've always been so bold and assertive coming forward. So what advice would you give to the women who work in a male dominated field, or maybe when people around them, typically male, are very dominating? So how do they assert? And like she had taken the opportunity that came her way, she was a privileged one, she said that, but a lot of times we have to bear that. So how would you advise women to deal with that, but do not let go the opportunity?
I think just 2 points. One, have absolute thorough knowledge of what you're doing. I think I don't want to use the word be master of what you do because it's evolving, but have very, very, be market awareness, preparedness, have knowledge of of your work area. And second and most important is never ever shy away by voicing out. Having a voice is very important, because unless and until you have the courage to speak up, how you feel, about an issue, or even having that heart to disagree, even if the males feel that this is what the way it is. So I think unless and until women believe that they have the power to speak up, their voice won't be heard. So I think that is something that I really want to say, for future leaders or something, that never ever shy away from putting your point across the table. Like in my present organization, we started off with employee resource group, and we had the first one last year. We are going to have a 1 year celebration of that. It is called as her seat at the table. So I think from picking up that same thing, I would say that believe that women has had and will always have her seat at the table, but let that seat not be wasted, because you just don't want to sit and be doing this without having a voice. So I think I would just sum it up by saying that having a voice, having a courage to put your point across, not shying away, not getting intimidated, I think that is very important. Even if everybody disagrees, doesn't matter. I think females should believe that it's important to have their voice, speak up, and of course they need to count their seat, on the table. Yeah.
Absolutely. Agree. Totally, 100%. And now, Dr. Bawa, going to you, since you said a lot of them should come up in this for STEM education, going forward in engineering, but let's say still we have the mix all the way in HR, everywhere in finance. So, what advice would you give women leaders in whichever field they are about adapting to technological changes? And what can they do about it, being in their own specific fields?
First of all, you have to build confidence in yourself. You must recognize your worth. So that is the main thing. And whenever you are working in any technological field, you have to have thorough knowledge of all the aspects that you are in, so that nobody can question your expertise, nobody can question you. And you must set your clear goals and build the skills You have to, as Yogita has already said, that we have to reskill ourselves, unlearning and relearning is the talk of the town. So we have to unlearn many things and relearn. So we need to have, again, we have to seek feedback, because many a times women think that we are the best and we cannot make flaws. So that is again a wrong decision on our part. So we have to seek feedback. So this basically comes because I'm a teacher. Whenever I go to the class, I take the feedback of the students. Maybe I did not do well in the class, so that directly reflects. So I can build myself up, so that next time when I go to the class, I can be a better me. So that is a feedback is a very important part. Then I think you have to find for the junior members, you have to find a good mentor. The mentor, you have to surround yourself with supportive people. Many a times you will find, I have found in this organization also, I have found many people, when you work very well, when you rise to a very higher level, being a woman, people tend to pull you down. That I have felt that. And it is not from the male counterpart, it is from the women themselves. So we must, so I was not saying this because I have never felt any gender discrimination, but I have felt this from women counterparts also. Because when you go higher up, due to your innovation, due to your aura and your dignity and your skill, you will face this problem. So you should surround yourself with good and supportive people. Distancing yourself with those people doesn't mean that I am against them, but it means that I love myself the best. So that is the thing that you must do. And so you must practice self-care, and you should challenge themselves, and you should always celebrate your accomplishment. Many people think that why do you post your accomplishment in LinkedIn or in Facebook or Twitter, but that is required. You must do networking, otherwise you cannot grow in today's world. Pre-COVID era, we were from the education industry, I can tell that we were unaware of the Skype and this hybrid mode of meeting conduction and everything. So immediately during the COVID, so I think our organization was the first one to adapt to these changes, and we conducted classes. Not a single day we missed class. So we use Google Classroom to conduct classes, to take the examinations, to submit the answer scripts and everything. Now we are so much confident that we can we are doing everything in the online mode. But still there is some drawback in online mode unless you go face to face. But at least we can collaborate with so many professionals across the globe. Within a short span of 2 months, I went there in January, and within a short span of 2 months, I could, with the help of my team members, I could organize this conference, which will be held in 27th and 28th of March. And I have collaborated with so many people across the globe, and they are all coming in person. So that is the thing, you have to showcase your accomplishment. And you usually, if you are having a failure, you have to come out of the failure. You So my advice would be, don't react, just respond. Don't react to your ill behaviors of others or your failures, but respond and take the opportunity. You grab the opportunity. And I always tell my students also in class, they are shy to speak up. It's not only girl students, the boy students also, they are
Introvert.
shy to ask any question in class. I tell them that you have to extract the knowledge from the teacher. So how will we know? In my class, 300 students, they sit in my class. So it's not possible for me to go to each and every person. So I tell them, you grab this opportunity, you extract knowledge from the teacher. So that's my way of behaving with the students. So women, surely can achieve their goals and succeed in leadership roles if they have this mindset. So that is very important.
Absolutely. And on this note, Yogita, one last question to you. since we are a lot of everywhere we are hearing that some people have been fired because of this AI digital transformation coming in, and like we were talking about that there's so much newness coming in. So what skills do you think will be essential for the upcoming women leaders if they like take it in, so they get the habit of getting into these new skills and that can work better for them to stay, basically they will be important for the organization.
So, how much we say we hate AI and why AI exists, but I think the hard reality is AI is here to stay, and AI will evolve more and more as we, move on with the calendar days. So it's definitely going to stay, and it's definitely going to change the place, corporate place, work-wise overall, even for entrepreneurs and corporate world. So it's definitely going to change. I think for future leaders, I would just say that learning about AI, because we've just heard AI, but few months back I attended a workshop on AI which talks about generative AI, and there are various types of AIs. So I think it's very, very important to really understand what AI is and how it can be used. Because if we really know how to use AI, we can actually be far more productive. We can improve our efficiencies at workplace, because AI can actually help in creating PowerPoint presentations. AI can help you in doing your Excel stuff. You don't really have to remember formulas because AI can do that for you. But it's also important that maybe a very layman example, even if I have all the ingredients but I don't know what's the process of cooking, I won't be able to cook. you know so if I know AI can do ABC, but if I don't know how to use AI, it is just going to be futile. So I think having that knowledge in HR for AI, I think that is very, very important. And also encouraging your teams to do that, because I think in the world where we're talking about achieving more with same or less workforce, I think the key is higher efficiency, better productivity. And at the same time, because we would not want people working for 12 hours, but in the 8 hours how you can be more efficient. And I think AI can definitely help. So I think the knowledge for HR leaders on AI, how to use that at your workplace, I think would definitely be a key.
Great, thank you. So any last messages from you, Dr. Moa, on advice to inspire confidence in women who aspire to grow and lead in future?
Yes, as Yogita said, I am into AI, and in education, AI plays a major role. But I can say that only blindly believing in AI, like generative AI. So when we are using ChatGPT, this is called prompt engineering. So we must know how to extract the knowledge from AI, because many a times you will find, after all, it is machine generated thing. So it can give you wrong information. So I don't think that human intellect is lower than artificial intelligence. So you use artificial intelligence with proper human intellect, and then you can be successful in life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. And I would also say that when it was the time of COVID, when no one knew anything, so I would say even the mothers were the first ones to learn Zoom, Gmeet, and all sort of applications created by the schools,
Yes.
submitting papers and everything. So why do we fear getting into that AI zone, digital zone, learning new things? So just one quick example I
Fear,
would say last
I
day,
think
someone,
we
yes, go ahead.
fear. Sorry to cut you in. I think we fear because somewhere I think there has been a general feeling that AI can cut jobs. But I think I would just want to rephrase: AI will not cut jobs. AI will only cut those resources who do not want to upskill themselves. If you lag behind in the race, and the other person is has upskilled, or you have understood, he or she will have a better chance. So I think that's again the thing, that if you think that AI can take away this thing, no. But I think it's about, if you lack the skill set, it's again a race of being, how prepared you are, how knowledgeable you are, how much you have upskilled yourself. So I think that's where people fear AI, but maybe they don't understand it, that fear is not going to help. You have to learn it, because it's going to stay whether we like it or we don't like it. Like personally, I don't like it. But it's going
Absolutely.
to stay.
In fact, one of them which I was sharing, that there was a lady and she was talking about that in content creation, and we are losing jobs because of that. So I told her that It's not because of content creation that AI is doing a losing job. You use the AI, but you be creative, and then you'll be able to create the difference, and you will not
Exactly.
lose the job.
Yeah,
So
yes.
Yes.
ideally, so just one last thing for all of you there sitting out, and I think I would like to summarize on what we've discussed. So it is important that because you know technology and you could do it during COVID for your family, for yourself, for anything. So I would just say, or rather, we would just say that don't fear, just embrace technology and start moving with it. It's just like a new education coming your way. So you go learn it, embrace it, and start welcoming it in your life. So you will notice the difference. And one important thing, you are emotionally strong. So be technically strong too, and just think how you can rise. So as long as these guilt factors do not come in your life, just surround yourself with positive energy, and above all, just learn to love yourself. If you can't love yourself, then you will never be able to actually do justice to yourself or to your family or to anyone existing there. So love yourself and do everything for you as well as for others, and you will notice the difference in you too. And one last bit, if anything is there, I too am a council member of Wiki, so please do come forward and do let us know that if any way we can support all the corporate women sitting out there in any factor whatsoever, if we can help you rise through, if we can help you learn new talent or any way in terms of any soft skills, behavioral skills, technical skills, wherever we can help you. Even if you want to become entrepreneurs, we are there to guide you. We formed a new council, rather department, we can say, in terms of Women Indian Chamber of Commerce. That's for Corporate Talent Council, typically for West Bengal. So please do not hesitate. We are there to support you. We are encouraging everyone to come forward and take it on. So please just come and join us. Okay. With that note, thank you so much, Dr. Mahua and Yogita, for giving us your valuable time. And I'm sure everyone must have got a lot of insights hearing you
Thank
out.
Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much.
much, Isha. Thank you, Dr. Mawa. I definitely learned a lot
Thanks,
from you.
Yogita.
Thank you so
Thanks, Insha.
much.
Thank you.